Hello everyone, this is George from Variegated Bonsai Garden. In today's video we're going to be repotting 3 Ficus Elastica. This first one's a variegated type. They call it Tineke. And then we got this one. They call this one Burgundy. It's just a little bit redder, kind of a little darker green than the wild type. And then the last one is this one. They call this one Ruby. It's also variegated, but it has a little bit more of a reddish tint to it. Start with the Tineke first. And these are new species for me, so I don't know how they'll do trained as bonsais. But I have other ficuses. I feel like they'll do fine. So my goal here is I'm going to try to get all the soil off. This is all peat moss and perlite, looks like, which is perfectly fine, but for long-term cultivation, not so. Alright, I'm back. Went to go rinse off the roots. There's still a little bit of soil there, but we'll be fine. I'm going to be cutting these back a little bit. I think that's gonna be it. This doesn't look like I left much, but just the start of a nice radial root system. Trying to get more of it to go to the sides instead of straight down. I'm gonna put this guy in this little pot. Oh, something like that. Maybe I'll do that side right there. And I'm going to be using 100% Akadama. This is kind of an experiment for me. This is the first time having this species. And if it's successful, I'm going to use them as my mother stock plant. Alright, this is already pre-sifted and everything. Go around there. I ordered all these from a different grower. This one came from California. It's not a commonly used species for bonsais, but the one good thing about it is it can take low light levels, so you can keep it as an indoor plant. And they're pretty. They got pretty leaves, but let's see how they do as bonsais. I know this isn't gonna look like nothing, but we're just setting it up so it can grow up. And the reason why I'm putting it in akadama versus just leaving it in the little pot with the peat moss and perlite is you can cultivate in that. It just, the only disadvantage is it doesn't allow the plant to root divide, so it doesn't ramify its roots as much as it would with the akadama. So what happens is you just get like a few roots and they just keep getting thicker and thicker, and they'll circle around the pot. Versus the akadama, every time it hits a little particle, it'll grow into it and then split, and then those will split, those will split, and those will split. That's basically it. Just, it's gonna allow me to grow the plant longer in the same pot, which will help it develop mochikomi. All right, I think we're done with this guy. He's a little off-centered, but this is just gonna be his little growing pot. All right, I'm gonna go water him. All right, this guy's all watered up. I did notice he's a little top heavy, so I'm gonna be putting some rocks to hold him up until his root system gets established, so he doesn't tip over. There should be good for now. All right, check him out. So this guy is Ficus Elastica Tineke. This guy has a pretty crazy looking root system. You guys can see it. It's a lot lumpier than the other one. And I did get 2 free, it looked like they were suckers, or maybe they were planted all together. This one doesn't have leaf, this one for sure will live. And this guy, I don't know, it seems like he's a ficus. It's not the same kind, but he was in the same pot. All right, let's get started on this guy. I'm gonna cut the giant bulge off. All right, so what we got left, I ended up cutting off the bulge and keeping it flat. And I trimmed down the leaves so it doesn't tip over. This is the one that had the biggest. All right, let's get him potted up. My plan with this one is just to grow it up. Probably the biggest one out of the 3. This one's my favorite one. This is Ruby. This one I got from New York. Out of the three, this one was the one that got a little bit more beat up on its way here. And it's also grown in peat moss and perlite. Let's see how these roots look. Most of these are started from cuttings. I've seen some people. What is that? Oh, it's like a little foam substance. Probably they used it to propagate this. This got rinsed off. For the most part, he's pretty good. Still a little bit of that foam stuff in the middle. I'll try to cut it off in a second. Alright, let's see. Probably cut a big giant one there. Alright. That's all I'm gonna do for now. Check them out. Took off all that foamy stuff. I cut back some of these leaves a little bit so it doesn't tip over. Pretty good there. Alright, let's get this guy potted up. Just gonna do this side. That's the plan. Picked up this it's a green it's a Japanese production pot. Nothing fancy. I think it would suit it's gonna suit the red, kind of complement it. Alright, let's do that side. That should be good for now. This guy over. Alright, we're all done. Let's do some money shots. Start with this little variegated one. And this is the Burgundy. Not much right now, but I'll do an update in a couple months. And this is my favorite one, the Ruby. Check that guy out. In case you guys have been wondering what this guy is, put this guy back here for some eye candy. He's a Ficus microcarpa, tiger bark.